All right, sickos, we fixed the list.
What is up, Watch fam? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Vintage Watch Shop.
You said creator.
Curator. Creator with a small c, obviously.
Of course.
I've become very religious this year.
Yes, of course. Yes. Christian the creator. My name is Michael.
Today we're going to be ranking a bunch of great brands. Michael, among them?
Tiffany, Unimatic, Blancpain, Oris, Trilobe, Breguet, F.E. Jorn.
Yes.
Every brand that we missed on the first list because casually I said to Christian,
yes.
Oh, look, they have a pre-made template. And we said,
yeah.
That was a ton of time.
So I genuinely feel like there are too many watch brands that fit on one list.
Yes.
So omitting these brands we were not trying to ignore the watch brands you love. We just doing another video. It's not a big deal, guys.
I saw a pre-made list and was like, dude, look at that. But anyways, this is all the brands that we left off. There's probably more. We'll make a part 3.
I'm sure there are more. And it's not your fault that there are more, nor is it my fault.
Anyways,
let's make Christian kill himself before Christmas. That's what some of you people are trying to do.
Look at you in your Christmas sweater and everything. Nice. You're trying to hang on.
I'm trying to hang on.
Okay, so anyways, we're going to rank these, and I did a little bonus. I didn't want you to read them, and you didn't read them. Every brand that we're talking about on this list, I did a one sentence. It's kind of a roast. I tried to be gentle. So I actually had to dull them a little bit because I was like, people actually might get pretty upset. But just little like funny things. If I was going to explain this brand to you in one sentence, how would I do it?
Yes. Michael is incredibly good at this. He's done it for about people in front of me before. And it's the reason why every time Michael walks in the room, I quake with fear because at some point he's going to call me fat and poor. And I know that. And that's just what's around the corner.
Never say truths to your face. Those are the most insulting things.
See, I told you. He did it.
Just kidding. These are very nice. So I dulled them a lot because I was like,
you're like, I'll give you the real ones later.
I was like, you know who's going to be watching this video?
Talk.
The brands.
Yeah,
and they're gonna freak out. Trilobe? I'm gonna say it again. Trilobe.
Trilobe.
I found out about this brand yesterday. S. Okay, tell me why.
Period. End. So the way that we did this last time around wasn't just about the watches themselves, but also taking into consideration the growth. What does the year look like for the watch?
What happened this year?
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly
right. When we assess Rolex, we do the same thing. We don't just say how great is the brand. We both think it's great. We say, what kind of year did they have?
Yes.
You know, how well did they perform? Trilobe was a brand that came to the market in 2022 with their first watch called, first of all, you know that it's not a pet peeve of mine, but I don't love when brands name their things. You know, the world speaks English. I know that that's a terrible thing to say, but so there's a certain like phonetic world that we're used to, that the world is used to, that we can all kind of speak. And when things are in French, I don't care at all. That's amazing. Charcuterie is an easy word to pronounce. But
and
some of the words here, like, you know, Nuit Fantastique, obviously that's fairly fine. Un Fol Journe, I don't really know how that's pronounced. I probably screwed it up. And I don't mean that it's in disrespect to the French.
I try as hard as I can.
I have a million French words to memorize. So the point is, Trilobe, came to market in 2022. They did a great job with the Nuit Fantastique. Cool watch. I knew from then, cool watch, that's not going to be the watch that they go to the moon with.
You're right. You're an independent brand. You seem...
Wait, what?
When I literally found out about them yesterday.
Yes.
I was like, independent brand, okay, cool. And then we'll get into price in a second, but that's essentially where I was like doing something different.
Yes.
Because your first watch is interesting. It's fascinating.
Yes.
It reminds me of old digital watches, as in digital, you can see the numbers. But seeing the price and the independent spirit and then their newest watch, I was like, you're doing something very different.
When they introduced the new watch, which I saw for the first time at Watches and Wonders, I was astonished. It wasn't the brand I was walking over to. Something really interesting about Watches and Wonders is the big brands have these really, really big, like city-like castles, and then the small brands have these little corners. But the
like
cool
lemonade
thing
stands.
is, kind of are, yeah. But the cool thing is, like, those corners are actually where the bars are. So you end up spending a lot of time around Trilobe. I literally sat by Trilobe for hours. I'm not kidding.
Wait, what were you doing?
The Un Fol Journe was an amazing watch. Everyone was asking people's opinions.
Sapphire dome and everything?
Big dome sapphire with this kind of rotating, almost, I don't know who it reminded me of. Maybe Urwerk, maybe HYT at the time. All these different cool independence resins, all these different ideas about how time could be told in a different way, happening at once and happening in a unique way from a singularly unexpected source, so far as I saw it.
Thick though, no?
But
I'm kidding. I would make that joke to the brand, and they'd be like, "No, it's supposed to be thick because it's 3 different layers." And I'd be like, "It just seems like
you put your finger on their lips." I'm cracking up. No one else finds it funny.
My Explorer is incredibly thin.
I'm telling everyone, you gotta know him. I hate this guy.
It's incredibly thin. Yours are just like this big. And
you think I'm funny? It's him. He's the one.
Rings.
He's the one.
No one's
We're doing it at the same time. So it was an amazing brand. S, absolutely, very, very smart. Really great reimagination of how time is told. I give them all the credit in the world. I do not own one, but I recommend them all the time. I think that they are really, really terrific.
My one line. Ming meets Jorn.
Yep. 100%.
Next one. Don't look at the brand.
I won't.
This is the one sentence. The Royal Oak and the Nautilus are so tired. The designs are tired these days. I need something new but of the same spirit.
Gerald Charles. Exactly.
which you are wearing.
I recently purchased just last month or just a couple weeks ago. This is the Maestro 8.0 Squilette. This is a rose gold piece with this beautiful open work dial.
That's unbelievable.
These are the last words of Gerald Genta. It was the last brand he ever operated. The dial is unbelievable. It was designed by Otavio Garcia, who is a part of the genius that made Audemars Piguet, and modernity. There's no wonder why this skeleton is so good.
Unbelievable.
It's designed by this same guy that was at the table when the Audemars Piguet open work was. It's like
the best, designed by the best. Of course.
Literally makes perfect sense. Add one more layer with the AP history. Not just the designer, not just Gerald Genta and Ottavio Garcia. Also, the family that owns the company, the Ziviani family, brought Audemars Piguet to Italy. Right. So this is just a culmination of just decades of love for watches, of appreciation for Gerald Genta, which is why Gerald Genta chose the Gerald Charles family. Gerald Charles is not a sponsor for today's video. I'm just truly in love with the brand.
I mean, you can't really say it's a sponsor.
Look at True Love, the same thing. I'm not sponsored by True Love. I just love their watches. I was there. As a watch lover, and I love a green OP, but as a watch lover who's just like looking for new, creative, interesting, long stories about watches, these brands are brilliant. I put it in S, period.
What are they going to...
Particularly this watch.
Is this their whole thing? I'm saying that I sound like an idiot because that's essentially the only shape that they offer.
I have no inside baseball here, guys. Legitimately, I have none. Right? I've talked to the brand because I visited a watch meetup that they were at, and a bunch of other people were there too. I have no inside baseball. Gerald Genta designed this case.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Yep. He designed this case and a couple of dials, tourbillons. The brand had been making exclusively special order watches for what is the richest people in the world for years.
Of course.
Literally the last 20 years. They've only made special order watches.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like if you really, like they have, like their gem setting is one of, it's amazing. They use the same gem setting as Patek. Like it's crazy.
Very cool, yeah.
So that's what the brand has been forever. Are they going to design a new case? I don't know.
Can you?
Don't know.
Can you? If your name
you
is
certainly
Gerard?
can. Like, you know where the proof is? The Octofinissimo. Gerald Genta, Gerald Charles Genta would look at the Octofinissimo by Bulgari, a brand that we gave, I think, S last time.
Yeah.
And say, well done. So if Bulgari could do it, and the geniuses at Bulgari could do it, the geniuses at Gerald Charles certainly can. Will they? I have no.
That was my question because of the namesake of the brand. It's like, well, can we do something that's not Gerald Genta?
You know what the answer is? It's messaging, man. If they can put together a great story and pay homage, right? Like to say we poured our hearts out to make this piece in the spirit of Gerald Genta to carry on his legacy, why not? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, why not? You know?
Yep.
Period.
S. One line, see if you can get it. I'll give you a hint if you need it. Vacheron meets a futuristic Longa.
Is it Parmigiani?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Wow. This is fun.
People are like, yeah, I think it's Vacheron, what they wanted to do or what they're doing with the overseas meets Longa's like history, Odysseus, everything like that. I think that's exactly what it is. These aren't roast yet. We'll get to, they're not even roast later, but still. I think that's exactly how I would describe it as someone that doesn't know this brand. I'm not saying it because I'm going to pronounce it wrong.
You're dead on. Parmigiani. And by the way, I don't expect other people, I don't speak Italian at all. I can just kind of pronounce that word. I don't think that everyone should be able to pronounce Parmigiani.
I can't.
Parmigiani. That's just fine. A regular person would read that and say Parmigiani. That's pretty close. Whereas if I gave you un fol journe, is that how it's pronounced? I have no idea. A little bit more difficult.
I will say if I'm going to buy one of these watches, I'll figure out how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not in this market, so I'm like, it's cool.
So yes, the Tonda PF.
The Tonda collection in general is unbelievable.
Have you seen the skeleton?
Yes. I was looking at them last night just being like, wow. I didn't give them a an actual look for some reason for a long time. I was like, I saw one watch, and to me that like became the whole brand. Like I saw a picture and was like, I'm not a fan of that. But now looking at their watches, I was like, no, that is exactly what the smoothest, suavest Italian man wears as he's driving away in a beautiful car.
Totally.
This is that watch. It's sporty, it's slim, it's slender. Their designs all have like very cohesive language. Unbelievably beautiful.
Totally. Also, with Parmigiani, they released the Ton de PF in steel as well.
I know, but some of the prices aren't insane.
It's $20,000 for, I think it's uncomplicated, but it's hot horology. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, in gold, it's amazing. It's better, I think. But God, in stainless steel, the watch it's genius. I mean, to scratch the same itch, you need to buy a Daytona, a Daytona, I guess, on Oyster Flex, yellow gold. This is a no-brainer. I love this watch. I love Parmigiani. I won't give them an S.
Really?
Just because, this is not a huge departure from where they've been before.
Okay, sure. This year, sure.
So I think that S is almost reserved for
You did something crazy this year.
So I give them an A. You can disagree, agree, of course.
It was because yesterday I entered into the brand. There's one more brand we'll talk about at the end where the same thing where like I know one model you have, I just haven't looked into the brand enough. And looking at it yesterday, I was like, wow, these are actually fantastic. And seeing some that are not something I would buy any day. Like they're not that low of a price, but lower than I expected. And to see what you're making in the design language, I was like, that's an incredible watch to own.
Totally.
So I would go A, but for me personally, S because I just found them. But
I totally get what you mean.
Next one-liner. It could be cheaper than Cartier. I haven't looked.
Tiffany & Co?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
The Tiffany Eternity, that watch with all the different diamonds.
I knew
My
it.
man.
I knew it.
Yes,
I would wear
it's
that
me.
watch.
It's me. Yeah.
With the diamond crown?
With the
And all the mismatched diamonds on the dial.
mismatched diamonds.
I would love to give that to a woman I was sleeping with. It is perfect.
That's all you have. That's all I have to do to get that watch.
Be a woman and sleep with.
I should have messed it up like 8 times. That's all so if I would that
Michael starts calling all of his ex-girlfriends. You want to make $50 the hard way?
Nice guy.
Give me he has a fake watch he's going to give you. Just give it to me. It is unbelievable. Diamond crown, all mismatched diamonds. Are you into the world of like mismatched diamonds?
Yeah, that's sick.
Oh, because of London Jewelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been going to London Jewelers for years, and the designers at London Jewelers are incredible. This is not paid at all. I love the tennis bracelets, the earrings, all mismatched. The pair.
So cool.
It's so funky. It's so new age. You know what it says? I'm cool, but I'm rich too. And that's, because most rich people aren't cool, and I'm a cool one.
Yeah, I don't like the same size, same shape. There's the engagement ring where like one half is a regular diamond shape, the other is irregular.
Totally.
Cool stuff.
Cool.
The only thing I will say, the East-West is so unbelievably slept on, and they are doing something that Cartier does not do, which is they have a small-sized East-West in a manual wind configuration.
Yes.
Cartier doesn't do that with the tank.
Agreed.
That is unbelievable, and I feel like that would push Cartier down for me and Tiffany up. It's like, okay, so one of you understands when it's a small gold watch of this stature, of this fame, you need to have that version.
Yep. I think if they made the East-West slightly smaller.
They have a small version of small gold.
Sterling silver as well, as opposed to stainless steel.
Sure.
They could blow this watch out. Everyone wants a tank. Tanks are so cool, but Cartiers are rather expensive. Obviously the Must is awesome, but there's an alternative out there. It's Tiffany. It's amazing. Tiffany does not pay attention to their watch collection or haven't. I mean, I went back. So 2016 East-West came out. Nothing happened since. Sure. The 2019 LVMH acquired. 2022 they did the Patek Nautilus. Nothing's really happened. But this Eternity cocktail, which is $37,000, it's quartz, which is a little bit, but still perfect. I would love to see my mom wearing it. It's a phenomenal watch. Tiffany, solely on the basis of the Eternity, I'll put them in. Oh God, the Eternity's an A. The Eternity's an A.
Yep.
The brand I will bring from C to B.
I was thinking B too. C feels too low. B feels okay.
Yes.
Okay, B I agree with.
Yep.
Next up, this one I don't think you'll get it from the description alone. So I'll give you a little tip. Minimalist. The one line is your friend's boat. Cool to be around. You don't have it. You don't particularly care about it unless you're near it.
Studio Underdog?
No, that was one of my favorite ones. Unimatic.
No, but wasn't that a compliment?
It is a compliment. Yeah. No. One of my Studio Underdogs is one of my favorite one-liners.
Yeah, I mean,
Unimatic.
I think that Studio Underdog is a watch that like most people don't have, but it's like your friend's boat, and like when you see it, you're like, that's freaking great.
No, we'll get to that.
Got it. Okay, Unimatic. Yeah.
B.
B? Yeah, I give them a B. I think they had an interesting, semi-interesting year. They did some Carbon. They're not a Disney guy. They did some Disney stuff. I'm not a big Disney guy.
The grayscale.
The Series 8 in green that Hodinkee launched, I think was really, really nice for a really affordable price point. I think that they're great. I think in large part because of their price point. I would recommend Unimatic over Seiko most, if not all days. A little bit more money. I also think it's a little bit cooler. I think it's worth the extra couple $100.
I would agree.
B.
Next up, this is a sad tale, but this is the situation. I feel like this is what happened to the brand. A world-renowned museum curator is trying to talk to a dude that just shotgunned a beer on the museum floor about art.
Tell me again.
Okay, we'll read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Sad brand, sad thing. It's a fantastic brand. They're still alive and anything. They had a tough year or two. A world-renowned museum curator talking to a dude that just shotgunned a beer on the museum floor about art.
Grand Seiko.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Why do I say that?
Because Grand Seiko is speaking a language that nobody cares about.
I was thinking about it. I was like, Zaratsu is very cool.
Yeah.
For a minute until someone's like, so it's polished? And you're like, yeah, but it's polished really well.
I think that is a shockingly good analogy with the museum curator. Grand Seiko is having trouble, I think, with the market in the same way that museums, if like they beg the right people for money, like they know like that you get it. They get that you get it.
Yeah,
they get that like they kind of need your support and you know they deserve it, so you give it to them because Grand Seiko watches are unbelievable. They're totally worth collecting. They're absolutely fantastic watches, but they can be kind of. They could be a little geeky. They could be a little. Rolex isn't geeky. Modern Rolex is not very geeky. It's easy to understand. That's why everyone understands it, so everyone buys it.
At the Grand Seiko event, 3-4 guys pulled out loops to show me a detail.
That's not normal. You're not seeing that at a Rolex event.
I love it. Thank you for showing me that the tiny dot on the hand is blued steel.
Yep.
But you're not going to stop a guy at a bar and be like, well, look at this.
Yeah, and I think that, I'm the guy that tells the museum curator, don't compromise on the art you have here. Don't do that. Like, you do you. But maybe we could have some like fun ideas of events that we could have that get other people in.
Because Troy really wants to come in.
Right, like Troy's like, maybe he's a little bit dim for you. Or if someone does this in a little bit more of an approachable way, he'll buy into it.
Troy will come right on.
Troy's got a couple bucks.
Ray will come in.
Yeah.
A subscriber said that we mentioned him by name and he thought it was really funny. Not specifically him, but I said like Chris. And he was like, that's my name. And his girlfriend said to him like, you have the most common name in the world. No one's going to say something like Ray.
It's a stupid name.
I think it was Ray.
Name.
So Ray.
Yeah, Ray.
Okay. Anyways, so where would you put them this year? Not the quality of their watches this year. We're going to say the same thing.
I'm going to give him a B.
Okay. I think B for safety. I was going to say C.
Yeah, Grand Seiko had a dud of a year. I'll give them a B because they're really an A brand. And maybe they had a bad year, but I can't give them a C. I'll give them a B.
We own Omiwataris. The watches are fantastic.
I love
but
Grand
this
Seiko.
year, it just... Even the fact that our Omiwataris, the shape of the case is based off of wind entering a sail.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until someone at the Grand Seiko event told me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. This is as close as I could write to a comment that I got when we did our Journe video. So I'll give it away. You don't know who Francois Paul Journe is? Are you stupid or poor?
I mean, is that just Journe?
It's Journe, yeah.
Journe, yeah.
I know, I was giving it away because there's comments that were just in that vein of like, you don't know his first name. Like, you are dramatically studer than I thought. And it's like,
you're just poor. Yeah. So Journe, I don't think Journe had a great year. I don't think anything interesting came out. I think that Journe is going through also a weird period in the secondary market. Things have come down a lot.
Really?
I think they'll continue to come down, maybe not dramatically, but I think they're going to continue to come down. Again, not dramatically.
Sure.
I think that they went really, really, really high during COVID. They went really, really high.
What have they released this year? I couldn't find much. I forget what it was called.
That was 2 years.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. The only thing that I saw this year, which never made it to market, was the Only watch.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Which was a new movement. I don't remember everything about it, but it was great. But no,
And I think
you don't really need to release anything. I don't think you'll always have to wait to get a Journe. Always.
They're unbelievably gorgeous ones.
Yeah.
I think Journe, some of their strategy too was like, okay, we debut at Only Watch and then we start to push that out into our collection.
Yeah.
So with the cancellation of Only Watch too, I could see them being like, that was our release party.
Yeah.
Like essentially. So what do we do now?
Yeah.
Where do you put them? Again, this year, not ranking the entire brand and its quality because it's exceptional.
So as a brand, I give Journe over the last, whatever it's 25 years, I give him an A. or an S rather.
Sure.
This year, very, very boring. I mean, their year is really a C. I'll give them a B just because it's an average between S and.
There's also a certain like this is the treading water line where I know we're gonna get yelled at here. And here I'm like,
well,
we're
trying to be careful too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's like it's so tough when it's such a solid brand, but you can't do anything.
Well, there are a couple of C's coming, so.
Okay, great. Okay, this quote: "Maybe watchmaking is easier than they want us to think."
Christopher Ward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why I said that?
Well, it's because that's their entire marketing strategy.
The Bel Canto comes out, the 12 comes out. It's all watches where I'm like, to me, that what you just did has to be minimum $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Like that's the Bel
you
Canto.
Did it for $4,000. Like,
yeah.
The 12 is an amazing watch under $2,000.
Yes.
How did you do that?
And like I'm holding a 12 and a guy with a dramatically more expensive watch is really mad at me and explaining why his watch is better. Yeah. But it's just weird that we're having this conversation at all right now.
Agreed.
I think Christopher Ward is leading the pack in the micro world of being like, hey guys, like we can do this for $3,000. No, it's not the same as that $20,000.
But they admit that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're like, it's not the same, of course. I don't think they should have, as strongly as they said, like the 12 is like we're paying homage to the world.
I mean,
they should have done that. But it's like
I happen to like a lot of the marketing copy they wrote for that. I happen to like it.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I mean, like the 12 screws on the back that they did in honor of the Royal Oak.
Yeah,
I'm like, don't honor the Royal Oak.
Yeah,
you got the 12. That's pretty cool.
Right.
I think they are going to continue to just surprise people that aren't on the inside of manufacturing and be like, no, we can make that with an off-the-shelf movement for $3,000. And people are going to continuously be shocked. I'm A or S.
I give A.
You give A. Okay.
Yeah. Which is just a huge review.
Oh,
I just put Christopher Ward next to Parmigiani.
Yeah.
I mean, but look, even with the new Moon watch that they did, the new Moon, it's freaking amazing.
I think
they had a breakout year. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next year.
I think it's an incredible, shocking brand every time they release something now, which is odd. We're not sponsored. We're not
Sam
paid.
is dying for a Christopher Ward. No, I've never been paid by Christopher Ward. Absolutely zero. And if I were to be paid, I still would not. Our opinions wouldn't be influenced.
Yeah.
But no, we're not paid.
This quote, I don't know how much you're visiting their site and everything like that, but their quote is, "The internet is just a phase." That's what I'm assuming the CEO says when they're talking about their site or things like that.
Classic original?
Zinn. Zinn's site has not been touched since the dawn of the internet.
Weird.
Very odd. I think Zinn is on to something now with like the technology that they have had, oil fill, gas fill, whatever. Like we have a dive watch that's 500 meters water resistant. It's amazing. It's tegimented steel. It's all this brilliant stuff. But now they're being like, okay, but it does seem like you guys don't want 48 millimeter hockey pucks. So how about a 40 millimeter watch? And I think that small move, and like their T50 this year, which they released, is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think that small move for that niche of people is going to be huge.
Yeah.
I think that's opening up the brand. So I would put them, for that idea, which is just shrinking things, A.
So I'll just be honest and say I don't have a super strong opinion here. I'm not really abreast to what Zinn's doing. I know that every time I've ever owned a Zinn, I've had an incredibly positive interaction. This is going back the last 10 years, but I'm not abreast to the news. That being said, take out the news, Zinn is an A brand.
Yeah.
Zinn's an A brand. So if you're saying that is still true till today, meaning then that's I have no problem.
I think they're paying attention, and they're also a no-nonsense brand that's like, listen, this is what we make. It's really good. And like if it doesn't
just
look
a deep cut.
Exactly.
You know? Zinn is the brand that people are like, I really want a Speedmaster, but it's kind of a lot of money. And I'm like, well, actually, you could spend a fraction and get a watch that's basically just as good and maybe more interesting.
Yeah, right.
You know?
And it's like, it's filled with gas.
If you love watches like I do, if you think that they mean something more than the time, then head on over to theoandharris.com and shop our selection of vintage watches and handmade straps. They're unique and they're special, and once they're gone for good.
The watch where people can tell the status of your torrid love affair by seeing if you're wearing it or if you've cast it off into the sea again while wearing a cable knit sweater. This is you. I'm not making that character up.
This is I hate you.
Throws the Breguet into the sea.
I have a tradition that I associate with an ex-girlfriend that I may have thrown into the sea a couple of times. Breguet, the tradition is an A. Is an S.
Is an S.
The tradition
Sure.
is an S.
Sure.
The brand and the brand this year.
What the brand can do and what the brand does.
You want to get real?
Yeah, get real.
It's a fucking C, dude.
Ooh, I know.
It's a fucking C.
I know.
It's a shame.
They do
Treelobe is inventing things out of nowhere. They have no history. None.
The brand that's essentially is history.
Gerald Charles is doing wonders with a little bit of history, right? Compared to Breguet, right? Gerald Charles' history is 23 years old. Breguet dates back to the 18th century. It's like, and they're doing nothing.
They have Breguet hands. Like, this is
Napoleon wore Breguet, and they just don't care.
Yeah.
They just don't care. Swatch Group doesn't care about Breguet, and that's it.
Yeah.
They'd be the next Moon Swatch.
Sure.
But that's it.
Yeah. You guys do. You serve this niche
It
audience.
pains me to put that in there. That being said, when you wear a Breguet, a tradition to an event or to anywhere, people are like, "You're a real watch guy. That's amazing."
Yeah,
I've been really dying to see one of those.
I'm wearing 6 Jordans and I look like an idiot right now.
Yep.
Type deal. This one, we have the list is getting smaller. You'll probably get this. The child star that became rebellious when they got older.
Nomos? No.
One more guess. What would be the
Child star that got rebellious as they got older.
They were extremely famous when they were first starting out, and then they're still
Blancpain?
Nope, Zodiac.
Zodiac.
They went from the Seawolf being like this iconic thing, like you're with the Submariner, you're
rebellious now. I understand.
And now they're like ceramic, pink, rainbow. Like
Got you.
Like
yes,
they dyed their hair and went
I'm
off.
sorry, dumb. Yes. Well, the dyeing the hair is a perfect analogy. Yes, you're 100% correct. The child's hair, they grew up and to dye their hair. Yeah, dead on. Great watches, super
Fantastic
well
watches.
priced, really great watches.
Sam just got the titanium.
He did. Amazing watch. You know, I don't think they're trying to do insane things because they're trying to keep their price
They owned by Fossil.
bracket. They might be, yeah. They're trying to keep their prices, I think, fair or approachable. So I don't think they're doing like ridiculous things, but they're amazing watches. And I don't know, where do you put them? Again, the year versus the brand. The
year,
titanium alone, I think, is a really big thing.
Titanium, ceramic colors. This year, I have heard so many more people be like, Zodiac. I just got a Zodiac. Like they're cheaper than what I was going to spend, and they're cool. Like, what do you think about it?
Yeah.
I'd put them in A for their press.
Yeah, I would give Zodiac watches between a B and an A.
Yep.
Period. I don't know if this year was a big turning point year for them. I think that it was, somewhat.
I think they're getting heard now, which is
Yeah. I mean,
I'll go B with you.
I'll go B. Yeah.
I don't know what they'd have to do with the Seawolf to get it to there. Maybe it's even just have something besides the Seawolf. But
yeah,
still.
I wish they did more with the movie.
Next up. This is where I really dampened the roast because I cut these out a lot. Longa if they tried something new for once.
They tried something new. I mean, I could see it applying to so many, like Glasshood Original.
Yeah.
So what do you mean, like with the
if I took your glasses off and I said, "What watch am I wearing?"
Yeah.
You'd be like, "I think that's a Longa." I'd be like, "No, it's Glasshood Original."
Right.
But they have a full catalog of other watches.
True. Yeah, that's actually correct. You're right, because I guess what throws me off is the fact that Glasshood Original's, famous Panomatic, right, is a Longa 1 ripoff. So you're right.
Yeah.
It is a Longa. You're right. It's a Longa foundation, but their collection is actually much more fun.
Yeah.
It's a much more fun collection. And you're right. Yeah, that's dead on. It threw me off, but you're absolutely right. Their Senator 60s collection is super cool.
Their CQ39.
CQ39 is amazing. They make them in precious metal too.
Yeah. So they're sellable.
Yeah, so they're worth owning. Year got no press. They never get any press. I don't know the difference between the last 3 years and this year because
I don't either.
I don't know. I will say that the brand though is a B.
Is a B. Yep.
Yeah.
I would say that too. I think it's interesting. The name, for some reason, always gets me. I'm like, that's not bad.
Glasshuta Original.
Remember one time we were in a taxi trying to get back to Glasshuta because I lost a Tesla key card.
Yeah.
Both of our phones were dead.
Which is an easy mistake to make, by the way.
Of course. Thank you for backing me up. Day before our plane leaves, or like 4 hours before the plane leaves, Tesla is full of all of our stuff. I lose the key after a German opera.
Yeah, we're in a really bad place.
And we're sitting in a taxi and I'm saying Glasshuta. And the guy's like, huh? I'm like, Glasshuta. We're both
Michael
going back
tries
and forth.
every single pronunciation.
I'm showing him my phone. It's on 1%. And he goes, oh! Oh, Glass Huta. I was like, home, take me home. Okay, next up, a daring Longines.
Nomos.
No.
Oris.
Oris, yes.
Oris. For sure. Yeah, Oris has a little bit more fun. That's definitely true. Oris plays around. Oris is a big, it seems like they got a really big boots on the ground domestic presence. I don't know what they're doing internationally.
Oris is a tank.
Oris is a tank.
Surprisingly a tank.
I am more of a Longines fan.
Yes.
To be fair.
Well, because Longines does do more traditional stuff.
Yes, and they do really good stuff, especially this year. Their new watches have been amazing. I actually prefer Longines over Tudor. I think that their, Legend Diver is a cooler watch than the Black Bay. I feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
That being
it's
said,
more unique.
You're right about your description. Oris, how did they do this year?
I love the Oris 65 line. I love that they did steel bezel. I wish that there was one that wasn't cotton candy pastel color.
Yep.
Not that I don't want one, just that I'm not at the point where I can just buy that for fun.
Yep.
Like, I'd rather have it be a little bit more versatile. That being said, I feel like they're doing so many cool things, but not a cool thing that got me yet.
Yeah.
Like they did the laser etched watch. They did the, for lack of a better term, the trash watch.
Well, I think that the laser etched watch was actually really, really cool. I think that watch was an A.
Yeah, okay.
I think that the Pro Pilot as general is an A.
The Pro Pilot's unbelievable.
I think the brand is a B.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're doing so many cool things, but you haven't hit that formula where I'm interested in the thing that it's in.
Yes, agreed.
Although IFL, their Oris renditions, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, and what do you think? B?
Yep, B.
B. Okay, this is a longer one. There's only 3 left. You'll definitely get this one. Harry Styles, if he had a watch brand, our partners, or if we're dating someone, they're strangely obsessed with it. They think we should get that. And they are also 3 steps away from a makeup brand.
Nomos.
No.
Studio Underdog. I just think about, all the colors.
You really want to talk about Nomos.
I love Nomos. All the colors are Studio Underdog, you're right. And
it looks
all
like
the gradation of color, the watermelon.
The thing where you like...
The palette.
Yeah, it looks like a palette and everything.
Studio Underdog, I love the brand. Every time someone asks me if they should buy one, I say yes.
Yes,
I don't necessarily know if they had a crazy year this year. I give them a B.
I would go A because they're so
just really affordable too.
The original description was going to be Hamilton's liberal brother.
Yeah.
All these colors, they're essentially doing like...
The khaki field died at war so that this could live.
Yeah, exactly. But they're a cool brand. Like they just did it's a more of a field watch collection, which is really cool. They're also like really aggressive. They're looking for people that are reposting their watches on eBay and they're canceling orders on pre-orders.
Wow.
Like if you secured one and you put it on eBay, they trace it back and cancel your order.
I love that.
I like that. I think they're going to get bigger and bigger. I would go A.
Go A.
A, baby. Glashütte's Black Sheep, the Apple Watch of Germany. What I'd picture my life feeling like if I was happy.
Nomos Glashütte, finally.
No, it's Blancpain.
Yeah, you're dead on. Nomos is such a happy-go-lucky, whimsical brand, but as we put in the most recent film, they're titans. They are such a large employer. They're the largest German watch brand by volume. They are a hero of watchmaking.
They are Glashütte,
but
they pulled Glashütte back. Exactly. But they will kill you if they need to.
They'll also kill you, but they're happy.
Yes, and I think with the release of the Club Sport in a size that I can wear, the larger one is the same, but I didn't notice it till then. I was like, you are now like actually gunning to spread into America a lot more. You're gunning to be the value brand that people question why they'd get any other brand with. And I basically said that to the brand, and they were like, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
So what do we give them?
The Petrol Club Sport, to me, is literally S tier.
Nomos has many A's, a few S's. As a brand, it's somewhere between A and B.
Yes, of course. Yep.
So you want to give them an A?
I'll go, because the last thing I will say is similar to Oris, I'm like, there's still one watch model.
Yes.
That is somewhere drawn by you guys.
Understood.
But it hasn't hit yet. I'll go, what did we say? B? A?
A.
A. Okay, finally, 70 years of gatekeeping.
Yeah, Blancpain is somewhere between B and C. I'll give them a B because I think that their most recent 50 Fathoms release in like rose gold or whatever the hell that was really, really cool. The packaging was really well done. They put a lot of thought into it. But by and large, the brand is the brands, they're really big and they're kind of not that original. They kind of released already what they're going to release. They're not that inventive. They're just not. That being said, I hear, because I was speaking to someone from Blancpain, that some things that he said you specifically will appreciate very much are coming. But so I have a good feeling that next year when we look at this, Blancpain will be in the A collection. But I'll give them a B now.
I will say this last thing. in doing my research and looking at all the watches and stuff, my heart raced yesterday when I saw because I was only looking at the 50 Fathoms always. The look, I have phonetic spelling. The Villeray, the Quad TM.
Yeah, the perpetual counter.
Yeah, whatever it may be like. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's insane.
And this is 40 millimeters. That's out of my budget, everything like that.
I think it's automatic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of these watches, like just the regular Villeray are in 33 millimeters.
And Blancpain has so much to work with, right? Like they've never made a quartz watch and they never will. That's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a brand that's poised to pop, but
look at that.
It's amazing, but they are going to need a big cultural resurgence for that pop if they're going to stick with dress watches exclusively.
Exactly. I do think those dress watches, I told you, I might get a watch next year. I'm debating if I do what I want, whatever. I looked at that yesterday and was like, oh, wow. Okay, maybe that's it.
Agreed.
Especially in the secondary market.
Agreed.
To, if they're watching this, secondary market's coming.
Sorry, guys.
Those prices are
popping. Have to work on that.
Yep.
But I'll give them somewhere between B and C, but I'll give them a B.
Yep, I'll give them a B.
Pretty concise, pretty good. I feel bad about Breguet in third place, but if you guys want more content, head on over to The Zero. Comment down below what you thought about this, and it's good to have Michael back. No one likes Sam, not even me. Right?
No, we love Sam. Poor Sam.
No, I love Sam so much. He's my best friend.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. See you guys soon. The watch on your wrist, unlike your iPad, will mean something to someone one day if it doesn't already. Something that will make them smile, walk a little taller, surely at some point cry, but it will mean something.